No, you are great because you know what? You know why you're great? Because you had the courage to step out of a terrible relationship, to overcome a difficult and challenging childhood, and go out on your own, and then forge a career. Look where you are now.
I know.
You're on the red carpet.
It's freaking amazing.
It is amazing. And I did the same thing. I left West Virginia and was able to create what I've created. And, you know, the thing is, it proves that anybody can do it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my father made $8,000 a year. He was an alcoholic. My mother was an alcoholic. And, you know, I've made 8 with 6 zeros after it instead of 8
Yeah.
with 3 zeros after it. So if I can do it, anybody can do it.
I know I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm on that path right now.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Thank you so much.
You're
really
welcome.
appreciate it.
My
Have a great
pleasure.
night.
Thank
Okay. Hi, Sally.
The
Good to see you
video.
today. Me too. It makes me smile. And you know, it's interesting because we're doing a book called The Book I Read, where we share transformational stories, you know, books that we read that transformed our life. And that book, The Success Principles that we had on the screen there, you know, Jack Canfield wrote The Success Principles. That's the book I'm going to be talking about. So before we get into our video today, what do you want to share with us? Like what book you're going to be talking about that transformed your life?
Well, I know it. It's called the Master Key System. It was written in the 20s, and by this
The
guy,
1920s, because this is the 20s.
not 2020s, 19 over 100 years ago, and it outlines different ways for you to just be at peace. And it was the precursor actually to the whole Think and Grow Rich movement.
Okay.
I believe, because, you know, it's funny because this year I studied both of them at the same time. I was leading a Master Key System book club, and at the same time I was in a Think and Grow Rich book club, and the parallels to these two books was like mind blowing. So so I'm pretty sure that Napoleon Hill knew of the Master Key System and used that as his research for Think and Grow Rich. So I'll be talking probably about the Master Key System and what it's done for me, because it's really helped me to be at peace. It has these little exercises that you do every week, where you start by just sitting still and being still and using your imagination and doing all kinds of different things. So it's really a great book to dive into that whole Think and Grow Rich realm, if that's where you want to look into. So
that's cool, because one thing you said right there is that you said it teaches you, you know, has exercises for you to be still and be at peace. And the topic we're talking about today is time, right? Time, you can't get it back. One of the videos I shared at the very beginning, there was time was turning backwards, which never really happens. But can you get time back? Can you take advantage of time? Can you make more time? You know, all these different sayings that we have related to time, like the Rolling Stones, time is on my side. But how can we make it on our side, right? What can we do to make it so that our time is spent wisely? And it's another term, spent. You're spending time. So if you're spending time, you spend time or you spend money. You know, this is one of the things that successful and rich people do is they don't spend their time, you know, they don't whittle it away. What they do is they hire other people, they pay money to do things that they don't want to do. I have a friend who pays somebody to, you know, to walk their dog all the time, or someone else who pays somebody to feed their dogs, because it's time that they're not going to be able to, you know, manage wisely, and they don't like doing it. So, or, you know, hire for housework, you know, yard work. There's so many different things that we can hire people out to do. And that's not what we're going to talk about today, but time is a very interesting thing. We can never get this moment back. And one thing I realized, Sally, you know, just in this last 7 years, because, you know, I started my personal development journey 7 years ago. And one of the things I realized is how important our energy is related to time. Because if you think about it, there's a lot of things that we will pay for because of the energy that event or that thing is giving us. It's usually a person that's giving us this energy, or you know, going to the fair and riding on a ride or whatever, right? We get this energy from that, and that's what brings us back, and that's what helps us to want to pay for something like that. you and I are both in business. Action Takers Publishing is all about taking action. Like we take action so you don't have to. That's our slogan. And it's cool because when you think about just time and energy, what kinds of things do you want to do that you're not doing because you don't have the time? I don't have the time to do this. That's not a question for you to answer, Sally, but I was
well, or you don't have the energy to do it. I mean, there's a lot of time.
Oh, yeah.
I think, having the wherewithal to stop your mind from thinking enough and planning we talked a little bit about this last night, and taking the time to plan your life and to really think about who you are, what you want, and where you're going. I don't think a lot of people, their mind is constantly racing, and they're constantly thinking about either something that happened yesterday or something that they're worried about is going to happen in the future. But to be able to slow your mind down enough and to just live in the moment, a lot of people can't do that. And so that's what this book taught me. And the taking time in the morning to regroup and to just sit quietly and say, okay, what do I want to happen today, and make it something good in your mind happening, is the key. And living right now, and not worrying about something you said yesterday or something that might happen tomorrow that probably won't. And
Right.
just going from that point forward. So,
Well, and that's interesting you said that, because it's, you think about future, because organized planning is about planning for the future, but don't fret over it. I think, is that the master key to success, is to not fret over that future time, right? And not worry about it. No, get fearful about it. There's so many different emotions that go into that. Well,
or imagine something horrible happening. I'm going to fail. I'm not going to, I'm not going to, this business isn't going to, go, I'm going to screw something up. I always do. So it's that negative talking in your mind about a future event, or, what's going to happen tomorrow, and being afraid of it. So
it's interesting. It could be Pollyanna thinking or what have you, but for us, with our business, Action Takers Publishing, right? Our mission this year is to publish 25 books. And in my mind's eye, in my mind, my conscious mind, my subconscious mind, like, I know that we are going to do it. There's no doubt in my mind, zero doubt. And that knowing is what drives me. And that knowing, and that not having doubt, that knowing is what keeps us moving forward. And It's interesting, because the way I used to be is I would say something like, oh, I'm going to publish 25 books this year. And then I would sit there and I would say, oh, can I do it? I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I have the ability to do it. I don't know if I know the people, and I would just doubt myself the whole time. So what was happening is I had a goal, but I didn't have belief in myself, in the system, in other people, in God. Like, I just didn't have the faith. And now I have the goal and the faith. And so it's cool. Will we hit the goal? I don't know. I can't predict the future, but I do know without a doubt that we are going to do what we have to do and what we can do in order to make that happen. Is it a realistic goal? Is it a SMART goal? What is the SMART goals? Do you remember what it stands for? No. I'm drawing a blank at 6 a.m. right now. Yeah, my SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time bound. You have to have a time, like a date on it. So you say that I'm going to do this I'm going to do this, this year. Put a date on it. Like, we have a date, December 31st of 2022. We have it's a very specific goal. It's measurable, 25, right? It's attainable, because I sat down and I looked and I said, can this happen? And actually, it's interesting, Sally, I'll share with you in just a second. But okay, so attainable, and then it's realistic. It is realistic. We're not saying we're going to do 1,000 books, this year. Last year, we did 2 books.
too.
but it was
Right.
a hobby. Last year it was a hobby, and I was by myself. This
Right.
year I have Sally, I have Belle, we have a team. So there's a lot of things that we put into place to make it so that it can be attainable, that it is realistic, and it's time bound, December 31st, 2022. Now, what I'm suggesting here is anybody listening, watching, is whatever goals you have, make them SMART goals. Make sure that you can attain them so that it's realistic enough that you're like, I can do this. I can do that. I know I can do. I have no doubts that I can do this. So about 3 nights ago, something weird happened. I was laying in bed, and I am one of those racing minds, like almost always thinking, right? And it is hard to settle myself down. I can do it, but I don't do it often enough, like you were mentioning with the master key to success. So it's something for me to work on. So I was laying there in bed the other night, couldn't sleep, mind was racing, and I said, 25 books. Oh my gosh. Okay, that's a lot. Okay, how are we going to do that? And just instead of saying I can't do that, is asking, like in Rich Dad Poor Dad, they ask in that book, instead of I don't have the money, I can't afford it, they say, how can I afford it? Right. So we start asking different questions. And the question is, how are we going to attain this goal of 25 books? So immediately popped into my head, February, 1 book, March, 1 book, April, 2 books, May, June, 2 books, 2 books, July through November, 3 books, December, 2 books. Like it just popped in there that that's the plan. Now we just go forward and we make it happen.
Yeah, right.
And we already have the first book that's going to be launched in February. And the other book we're shooting for February, but it might not be till March. I would love to do 2 in February. That would be cool to get us started like that.
Yeah, yeah. And we may.
Yeah.
I mean, we have, I think,
Yeah.
20 authors already on the second one. So
Yeah.
we're going. So I think that second one is I think one of my favorites. So the book I read isn't talking about the different books. So I think that's going to be a really cool book too. I think for people to read, because people are going to want to pick that up and say, oh, I need books that are going to inspire me, that are going to change my life. What did this person read? Oh yeah, let me go check that book out. So it'll be, I think, a good seller for people too.
Yeah. And we have a cool add-on from last night. Yeah. So
we'll see about that.
Okay, so we're not going to share it right now then?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what that's can we do that?
Yeah, of course we can.
Okay, well, we can do anything, right?
Let's do it. Okay. So we're doing something a little crazy, a little weird, a little different. And I love crazy, weird, and different. Crazy was my nickname for decades. And now it's the queen of collaboration, which I like a lot better than crazy. But what we're doing is this book, again, it's called we're not here to sell this book. We're just talking about it. But, we're not even here to sell chapters today. But this book, the book I read, again, it's transformational stories. So these are like, what is a book that really transformed your life, right? And then everybody's going to tell how the book transformed their life. It's not going to be a book review or anything like that. And so somebody was like, oh, I have a Spanish book that really, really transformed my life, but, it's in Spanish. And I was like, well, what if she did her chapter in Spanish and English? So what we're going to do is we're going to make an offer to those who speak a foreign language that if they want to write their chapter in that foreign language, do that. And so it's going to be cool because this will be an English book primarily, but there will also be some different languages in the book. So I think it's going to be different, probably unheard of, because it's kind of wacky if you think about it. But we're all about wacky. We're all about the wacky. Who wants to stay and draw inside the lines? Oh my gosh. For years, my mom, my mom was a perfectionist. That's where I learned that trait, which is now helping me in, this company. But it's, hindered me in many, many ways, being a perfectionist. And she was adamant about us drawing inside the lines. Oh my gosh. So anyway, drawing inside the lines is no fun.
What is that? Who was it? Katharine Hepburn said, going following the rules are made to be broken, and women who follow the rules aren't, I don't know. She had some kind of, if anybody knows it, put it in there. I know she had some kind of about, don't follow the rules, go outside the lines, do what,
Yeah, rules are made to be broken, right? Yes, totally wacky. We got Facebook user. If you go to StreamYard.com/Facebook, it'll let your name pop up if you want your name to pop up. And listen, good morning, good morning, good morning. You both will accomplish this decision goal. Yes, exactly. Decision, that's the next chapter we're working on. We have a book club for Think and Grow Rich for Women. And so decision is the next chapter. Good morning, good morning. Okay, so we're here to talk about time management, specifically time blocking is the topic I wanted to talk about. And Sally, I'm glad you're here today, because normally I would just do this by myself and I would talk about time blocking and my perspective, right? Because I only have my perspective. And I've been using time blocking for, gosh, probably about 6 years now. I met a woman named Penny Zanker. She's a faculty member at CEO Space International. And I've attended the event many times. And when Penny spoke about time blocking, I was like, wow, this is a fascinating topic. And one of the things that she had us do is to write down all the things we do in a day, like just like your average typical day, write them down, and then put the amount of time you think you spend doing those things, and then add that time up. And I came up with 36 hours. So in 24-hour period, I was doing 36 hours worth of stuff. Boy, was that a realization that I had no idea. I had no idea how I spent my time, and it was it was interesting because you do that exercise based on what you think you're doing, and you don't add it up while you go. You get to the end and you add it all up. So then she taught us about time blocking. So we're going to talk about time blocking a little bit here today. I'm going to share my screen with a document that I've created that is for time blocking, and you can download that by going to, I thought I put here it is. Okay. You can go to womenactiontakers.com/time blocking, download this free document. It's really awesome. If I do say so myself, I did create it. But hey, you got to like your own stuff. You got to like your own stuff.
Exactly.
It was funny. My mentor, Greg Reed, he would post things, and every single post he would do, he would like it. And so I asked him, like, you like every single post you do? Why is that? That's kind of weird. Like, people don't do that, right? And he said, if I don't like my own stuff, why am I posting it? And I was like, that is so simple, right? If I don't like my own stuff, why am I posting it? So yeah, go like your own stuff. I started doing that after he mentioned that. Okay, so I'm going to share this document. It is a time blocking document. I'll just take you through. I'm going to take you through quickly. I'm just going to run you through it, okay? Because I don't want to. This is not a training class today. This is just to show this one document. Oh shoot, I have my documents up weird. Okay, here we go.
Got it.
Okay, do you see it on the screen?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to show just it. Oh, what's this? Oh, I can make us little itty bitties down there. Or I can make us disappear. Okay, cool. So Sally, go ahead and mute your phone. Okay, so here I created this document called Time Blocking, 3 Simple Steps to Set Yourself Up for Success. And I'm just going to run through it really quickly. So we talked about time blocking right now, about how it's saved me. Oh my gosh, it saved me so much time, and it's helped me to get more focused on what I'm doing. Am I focused all the time? No. But am I focused a lot more than I ever was before? Yes, definitely. So the first thing we're going to do is, in this exercise, again, it's 3 simple steps, 3 simple steps. The first thing you do is you do a brain dump. You put onto paper everything that is on your mind, because when it's in your mind, it's overwhelming you. When it's overwhelming you, you can't really accomplish anything because you're too stressed out, too worried about this or that or the other. So you want to dump onto paper everything, like your to-do list, right? Also your to-don't list. I'll talk about that a little bit later. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to categorize everything into specific categories, and I'll share that in just a second. And then you're going to go and do the time blocking. So let's get right into it. The brain dump, this is just a sheet that I created here for you so that you can dump everything. And again, you need to include what you eat, your sleep, time that you eat, time that you sleep. I had no idea I spent so much time eating. That's probably not a good thing, but I spent more time eating than I should have been. And so I have, lessened that time, but make sure you include, eating, sleeping, driving, grooming time, you're working, if you're watching TV, you're exercising, whatever, include everything, the amount of time that you're spending on your business. And you might want to even break that down to, I spend this much time doing research as opposed to this much time doing marketing, as opposed to this much time doing sales. Sales is the key to business. You got to make sales or you're not going to have a business, right? So write everything down, just dump it out onto this piece of paper. Next, what you're going to do is you're going to categorize those items. So again, I show you here, you do meals, the prepping time. Prepping time is different. If you're doing meal prepping and you do it on a Sunday, for example, for the entire week, make sure you know how much time you're spending doing that. How much time are you spending doing social media, networking, building client relationships. So you want to categorize every single thing that you dumped onto this page right here. And this is going to help you just to see, again, how much time you're spending doing particular things. And then next, you're going to use this here to dump everything. So everything that you brain dumped, write it down here one at a time. And everything that you brain dumped, you want to categorize, put the categories right here. And then you want to estimate. Just estimate how much time you think you're spending doing these particular things. And that's like a lot of fun, because what you'll see here is the total projected hours. You get, 24 hours times 7, whatever that equals, 100 and something hours every week. Does this number come out to more than that? Does this number come out to less than that? Then you're not being realistic with your time estimates. Okay, and that was me, totally unrealistic, 100%. So now the time blocking. What I love about the time blocking is I was never like this before, but when I started time blocking, I became a person who uses my calendar wisely. So my calendar, not that my calendar runs my life, but my calendar completely organizes my life. If it's on my calendar, it's 90% likely it will happen. If it's not on my calendar, it's probably close to 90% likely that it won't happen. So I put everything on my calendar and I block it off. If I'm going to spend an hour doing something, then I make sure that I block out an hour so nothing else gets put over that time. And now here's an example. So I wake up at 5:30. I got up at 5:30 this morning. This morning, 6 a.m., I'm on Pacific time. So at 6 a.m., I had this blocked out for 1 hour. I blocked out an hour of my time for this live video here today. I might not take the whole hour, but I blocked out an hour to make sure that I didn't double book myself. How many times have you double booked yourself or even triple booked yourself? Now, the time blocking is for a 24-hour period. So if you go to bed at 10 o'clock p.m. and you wake up at 6 a.m., block out 10 to 6 sleeping. You want to make sure you account for all 24 hours a day, okay? So that's one thing you want to do. Now, this chart here helps you to block out in 30-minute increments. You can do 15 or 10 minutes, whatever. But for me, this was easier to create this process that I go through. So what I included here is, Monday, Tuesday, basically every day of the week, so that you can go and block out your time on this chart. If you're a person who uses paper, this is perfect. Print it out and use this to block out your time for an entire week. So we've got Monday through Sunday and every single half hour. Again, if you wake up at 6 a.m., block out all this time from 0 to 6 and just put sleep right there. And then you want to put every single task, label every single task here for every half hour. If something takes an hour, just block it off for the whole hour, okay? So this is something you're going to do in order to really, really get track of your time. Just do this for a week. Literally track every minute of your day for an entire week. Okay, so then the next thing we're going to do is you're going to write down the brain dumped items from that first chart, the category titles from that second chart, and then the weekly time estimate from that the time blocking that you wrote down on that third chart, and then the actual amount of time you spent. And this is going to just give you an idea to see how off base you are. And then knowing how off base you are, see, like me, I did 35 hours in a day. That's impossible. That's impossible. So one of the things I did is I did hire a virtual assistant. Her name is Belle. She's on our team. I hired her about 3.5 years ago, and I love working with her. And when I first hired her, it was pretty scary. It was pretty scary to hire her because I had never done something like that before. I'd never trusted someone else with my business. I had never relied on someone else to get something done. But when I hired her, that stress that I had about me having too many things to do and not enough time to do them, it was immediate relieved because she knew what she was doing and she just took over. And it's awesome because I love working with Belle. She's so amazing. So one thing I've created is as you download this document, you'll see this: do it, dump it, or delegate it. Go ahead and sign up for that free download as well, because this is a great way to learn, especially if you have a business, how to do things that you should be doing, how to dump the things you shouldn't be doing, and how to delegate the things that you don't have time for, or you don't like to do, or you don't want to do. And this document is specifically created for business owners because this one helps you to make money. This is about making money. Okay. So this do it, delegate it, or dump it. So I want you to, download that as well and go through the exercise and see what comes up for you. And so that is an overview of that document. Again, I didn't have it on the screen. There we go. Go to womenactiontakers.com/time blocking. So Sally, do you use time blocking or do you use a different method what do you do?
I just have my calendar and then I just write every day what's going on. And, if it's something next week, I put all my, everything goes in here. I did before this, I always used a notebook. I just would take a notebook, just write the notes. The only thing is like the future planning for me, which really wasn't an issue before. I would just write, okay, I got a meeting on this day. I have a calendar up on my wall that I would write things in, but it got to be between my 9-to-5 business and this business. It was just too much stuff. So I just use just a regular calendar now. And I just keep all my notes together.
Okay, but you have kind of time blocking on there, no? Because you do have it's a form of time blocking because
I have what's going on and then the times and who I'm meeting with, and I'll put notes about the meeting, and then I have like a little note taking app that I take all my notes in.
So and what is that app?
Notability.
And that's an I product?
It's on my Mac. Yeah, it's on my Mac and it's on my cell phone. So I believe it might. I don't know if it's universal.
I just call them I products because I don't know what to call them.
It's called Notability, and I just use it for note. I mean, there is a note app on the phone, but the Notability, you're able to do a little bit more different things. So I'm not sure if that's available on other things, but for just taking notes, it's it's something new that I just did the last year and this year, or in December I kind of found it, and I've been using that for my note taking.
That's cool. I like that. Find what works for you. And that's the thing is, I was running a women's mastermind. I did it for 6 years and just discontinued it last year, 2021. And one of the things that we found is that every single one of us had a different way of organizing ourselves, and we all had to find the way that worked for us. One of the ladies in the group does like what Sally does. She has a hard copy calendar, and she highlights everything that after she does it so she can see what she still has left to do. But she has her system, and then what she didn't get done that week, she would move over, handwrite. And I was like, oh my God, that's so cumbersome. Like I would never do that, and I never did do it. But I tried it because it worked for her. And then somebody else did this and somebody else did that. And, I found that for me, what works best is my calendar, my Outlook calendar, because I use Outlook. And so it's a matter of finding what works for you. And just because something doesn't work for you doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. It just means it doesn't work for you. That's all it is. And just keep trying different things.
Right.
So I want you to say, do you have a joke you want to share with us?
Do I have a joke?
Yeah.
A joke.
Why? Think of a joke. because I planned something for a joke.
Oh, you got to tell me these things ahead of time.
Okay. Oh my God, we're so funny. That's us.
Oh, there you go.
That's us in 30 years. Because anyway, yeah, I had that planned, but nothing funny happened, so I couldn't show it.
All right.
Yeah. So anyway, the time blocking is what works for me. What works for Sally is her, the planner. The planner works for her. It works for a lot of people, and even not every planner is created equally. So you got to find that planner that works for you. There's the passion planner. I mean, I've tried about 5 or 6 different types of planners because everybody's like, you got to do this one. You got to, and
right.
like, none of them worked for me. They just didn't, because I didn't work it.
Yeah. What is it? There's like Daytimer, and then there's the Happy Planner. There's a lot of different, you can buy like your whatever different sections depending on what you use. And yeah, so it's like you said, it's just finding what works for you and your family and your business. I mean, because everyone has different needs. And when my daughter was growing up, there's a app called Cozy, COZI.
I've heard of that.
And for scheduling like her events and stuff for me, my husband, and her, it was a godsend. And I still use it. I use it for my business today to schedule all my appointments and stuff. And my husband's, what's nice is he's able to go in and look at the schedule. My daughter was able to go in and look at the schedule. We would she played softball, so we would put all her softball games, all her practices, what I had going on with the business, what he had going on, if we had, family stuff, everything went into that calendar. So we would just keep ourselves organized. When especially, I don't know how people with 3, 4, 5 kids to keep everything organized and planned, and it's crazy. I know, which I had just had one, and I was like, wow, but
yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, I had heard of that app. I've never used it, but I have heard of it. And so again, it's finding what works for you. Exactly. So next, I just want to invite you all also. We're holding the Fearless Entrepreneurs Summit. It's next week. The whole topic is managing your time, managing your life. And we're going to be talking about different topics. The one that I'm going to be talking about at that event is the do it, delegate it, or dump it system that I use, that has, oh my gosh, it's relieved a lot of stress and pressure from my life. But, it's for those, entrepreneurs or, business owners who need to figure out how to better manage their time, that, for lack of better terms. And we have, all of our speakers coming in. We've got a whole bunch of them. Go to, the fearlessentrepreneurs.com. Actually, I have that to put on the screen. And let's see here, the fearlessentrepreneurs.com. Go there to get your free ticket. And it's a free event. The replays will be available forever. This isn't one of those, you got to watch it today. Otherwise, you're never going to watch it ever again. We're going to have the replays available forever. So don't worry about, getting your ticket today or tomorrow, or, getting it the day after the event. That's fine as well. You can still do that. But then also we have a VIP pass, all access pass. And what that gets you is a bunch of different prizes that are, worth, we've got a couple $1,000s worth of prizes of gifts
from the speakers, right?
Gifts from the speakers. Yeah, not prizes, but yeah, gifts from the speakers. And 100% of your money is a donation, because that money is getting donated to our nonprofit that this summit, the Fearless Entrepreneur Summit, is sponsoring. The nonprofit is called Lemonade Day. And Lemonade Day is all about teaching youth about entrepreneurship, how to become an entrepreneur. So it's really cool because, this event is all about entrepreneurs, helping entrepreneurs. Here are some of the topics that we're going to be talking about. Just click there and register again. It is a free event. We're going to host it on Zoom, and then the replays will be available on YouTube. YouTube is where the replays will be available. So you'll be able to watch those as well. And here's our charity partner, the Lemonade Day. And I'm just so excited about it because, when I was a kid, I was an entrepreneur, but I didn't know it. So it would have been nice to have had, people in my corner who knew that I was an entrepreneur, but I didn't come from an entrepreneurial family. I came from.
I was going to ask you, did you have I mean, I had nobody in either side of my family that I know that was a business owner or was in their own business, or everybody just worked for other people. So I had
Yeah.
no mentors, so to say, speaking growing up.
Yeah, mentors, in that area, right? In
Yeah, in that,
entrepreneurship.
right. So
Yeah, I didn't have any
it's funny
either.
because that was something that I always wanted my own business. Even
Oh,
as
really?
a young, I wanted to be in my own business. I don't know, maybe it was the books I read, because I was constantly reading books, and the women who were in business were kind of like, oh, they're so cool, I want to be like them.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I wasn't much of a reader. I never have been much of a reader, which is interesting. We have a publishing company because, I never was much of a reader. And now it's not that I read all the time. I'm not a voracious reader, but I do read now. And I hear you, because books are inspiring. Oh my gosh, books, if you're reading the right books that are, intended for that inspiration. And that's, why, Action Takers Publishing, like, we're all about inspiration, motivation, transformation. So all of the books that we publish will be, that's one of the criteria when we have, clients that come in and they have a book that they want to publish. That book has to be one that's going to help people. It has to help them in some way, shape, or form. We're not about writing fantasy novels and things like that, right? This is all about that transformation that your book will make for other people. And that's, all the collaboration books that we come up with, they're all intended to inspire and motivate people to take action. Hence the word Action Takers Publishing, right? That's where it all comes from. That's where it stems from. So anyway, get your ticket to the Fearless Entrepreneurs Summit. Go to thefearlessentrepreneurs.com. Right now, that website is pointing to the summit for you to get your ticket. And the summit is on the 11th and 12th. So it's 111 and 112 of 2022. Super excited about it. It's our first summit from one of our books, which come from this book here, The Fearless Entrepreneurs. Really, really great book. If you haven't purchased the book yet, go to, I don't even know where you can get it now, because our thefearlessentrepreneurs.com is pointing to.
You can get it on Amazon, right?
Yeah, or I'll put a link on the website. There we go. Get a copy here. Yeah, I don't even know I didn't put that up there.
Right. Well, actually, actiontakerspublishing.com has the two.
Oops. Yeah. Go to actiontakerspublishing.com and get it.
Right. Right. You can click on the book section and find the book, and you can visit there.
Sally created the website. So thank you so much for doing that, Sally, because the website I had before sucked. So this is good. So ladies and gentlemen, thanks so much for tuning in. Those of you who stayed on with us live. And if you thought that this was value, or if you found any value in this video, please click that share button below and tag somebody that you think could benefit from watching the video. This time management thing is real, and it is amazing. If you can control your time instead of letting your time control you, you'll find yourself accomplishing a lot more. And I don't know about you, but when I accomplish a lot more, I feel a lot better about myself. And so using this system that I use, the time blocking, Sally uses her, hard copy calendar, using these systems help you to set yourself up for success. And that's what the time blocking document is intended to do. So go download that today. And again, go to womenactiontakers.com/time blocking, get that document. And then we hope to see you at one of our future events. We have all kinds of good stuff coming up. So go ahead and hang out with us. Hang out with us wherever we are.
Absolutely.
And yes, absolutely. And I just want to say, we're so funny. Everybody have a great day, and we'll see you at the next. We're doing these Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right, Sally?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited to see what we come up with next week.
Monday will be our town hall.
Our town hall. So we're starting this coming Monday. Every Monday we're going to be talking about what we're doing. What's the progress we're making, just so you can see that when you do plan, things happen. And so we're going to be talking about the various books that we're working on, opportunities for you to become a best-selling author, to join us, in this journey that we're in, and super excited about everything that we have going on. And we want to see you as part of that. So any last parting words, Sally, before we head out?
Yeah, I think we're good. We've covered it all.
Awesome. We'll see you next week.
Bye.